Hello.
Hello.
Sir, is my voice audible?
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
We can hear you.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think we have enough number of participants here from all the branches and domains. So I'll be muting the microphone of all of you, and I'll be short and quick about the training session. So let me share my screen with you. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
This session is about the virtual labs, and virtual lab is a platform of simulations developed by some of the renowned institutions of India, like IITs and NITs, and some of the best institutions. The thing is that the students in this lockdown are unable to attend their lab work, and the practical work can only be performed in the universities. But using this software platform, which is free of cost and open source, and it is an initiative by Ministry of Human Resource Development (MHRD). The state-of-the-art simulations can be performed by the students as well as the faculty members. So, going to the website, you have to type vlab.co.in, and on the Google you have to type virtual labs. When you type virtual labs, the first link will be the virtual labs link, and it will take you to this website. Okay. This website, we have a home page, we have a newsletter, we have a new lab development, the labs that are being developed by these institutes, and we can also become a nodal center to develop some of these labs, and these labs will be published in this website, this MHRD websites. So in order to become the nodal center, we have to fill this simple form, and there is not much requirement. We only need to have some around 30 PCs and a minimum bandwidth of about 1 Mbps. So these are the requirements to become a nodal center, and of course we need to fill the number of strength of the students, which is quite low, but we can apply for the nodal center for the virtual lab also, and we can try about it. And these are the participating institutes. Let me show you the institutes that are that have developed these virtual labs. IIT Kharagpur, IIT Roorkee, IIT Delhi, Bombay, even IIT Madras. So all the NITs and IITs, they have developed these simulation softwares of the virtual labs. So these labs are quite you can see these labs are quite reliable. So let me go to the home page. On the home page, these are the objectives. Students to conduct experiments by arousing their curiosity. So what they have taught me in the training program is, in order to get a taste of this virtual lab open source softwares, they gave me a simulation. They gave me an example simulation from each and every branch here, biotechnology, physical, electronics, and what I'll be conducting an experiment in to make the session more interesting of all these branches. So I know that the branches and the domains are not of use of some other domains, but but I want to give a multidisciplinary idea of variation in simulations, and that is only possible if I conduct each and every experiment one by one, and that will be quick experiments. So just you have to stick with me for the rest of the session, and even if sometimes it feels that the session is going out of domain, so just bear with me. I will try to make it more and more interesting, and also there is no harm in knowing extra things, little things are much more dangerous, but extra things are beneficial. So let me go to this lab and give you the structure of this simulated labs. Suppose we have an engineering lab. In the engineering lab, what we have to go to the electronics and communication lab. Okay. So in the electronics and communication lab, we have the labs which are ready for use, and these are developed by IIT Bombay. And first let's go to one of the lab like 8051 microcontroller lab, and we have to explore this lab. In the lab there are 3 experiments. The last experiments, DC motor controlling a microcontroller, controlling a DC motor with a microcontroller, which is just a mini computer. So the structure of the lab is like this. We have an aim. The aim is explained here. We have a theory like DC motors interfacing with 8051 microcontroller, and they have even given the pictures, the latest pictures of the available products in the market. This DC motor is readily used today nowadays in the market. They have given the theory right here. So the theory can also be used in preparing our lab manuals also, and the documentation about the 8051 microcontroller. This is the official documentation. The students don't have to go somewhere else to search for the documentation. Every lab has these components like aim, theory. The third component is the pre-test. So pre-test determines the ability of a student to understand the practical experiment before conducting it actually. So 8051 is the original number of which MC51 true, false, and this multiple choice question he can evaluate his result. And next we have this procedure. Procedure is to go to the simulator section. Now procedure of this lab explain how the simulator works. So we have a simulator, and it shows that how to work with the simulation, because we are working in a simulated lab. Now the beauty of the simulated lab is we don't have to burn any electronic components to work in this lab, and we can use the simulation. Sir, I request you all to mute your microphones. Okay, so we are now working in the simulated environment in the simulation lab. So what we have here is the microcontroller 8051 microcontroller, typically used in the electronics lab. It is very much common, and we have a DC motor connected to the pin 0 and pin 1 of the microcontroller. Now here is the console window where I can type some code like in assembly language. Let's say this is the code to run a motor clockwise and then stop it, and then turn it anti-clockwise and then stop it. I can debug the window, then stop, then anti-clockwise, then stop, and then the loop happens again and again. So the student can write any code in this and can change the motor behavior based upon the coding. So this is the simulated environment, and to show a sample also we can choose the DC sample here. At the bottom of every experiment simulation there will be a hint window, so a hint box which we have to click, and we can get a pop out like this. So it shows the circuit diagram, how the motor drivers are connected, DC motors and the 8051 microcontroller. Here is the sample program which the student can copy and paste and check if he doesn't have any programming skills before. So this is the simulation, and we can also print the simulation window in the form of JPEG or PNG format. And this is the post-test window where the student can check after doing the experiment what are its capability, how he has increased this capability, and these are the reference sections where he can get the good books about how to conduct the experiment. So the main thing is that after conducting this experiment we are on the page of IIT Bombay. You have to see that we are on the page of IIT Bombay, so we don't have to click the home page right here. If we click the home page right here, it will land to the IIT Bombay page. So we have to just close the window. We have to just close the window on the browser, and then on the main window we have to choose another experiment. So this was the electronics and communication. This is the taste of electronics and communication. In computer science and engineering we can go. Let's just Choose a simple experiment like image processing lab. Now the image processing lab is there. List of experiments. Now again you see that no matter which institute has developed the lab, there is always this there is a hierarchy which they have to follow. Like if we choose this some experiment like color image processing, an objective, there should be an introduction, there should be a theory, procedure, experiment. So let's just jump right into the experiment. So in the experiment part, this is the image processing part, and even though some of you might not be familiar with the image processing part, it is much more common. It is used in mobile phones daily. So the students can learn visually what is happening here. So let me choose one of the image right here, and you can see the image is being processed. We can choose the processing, we can choose the hue, saturation, intensity mode, and we can change the saturation and intensity based on the linear model. So this is the linear model right here, and if I run it, the image is black, and it is now turned negative. If I change the slope, and it will turn bright. So we can change the slope and intensity, and a student can experiment with this simulation software even if he is not accomplished, even if he has no knowledge of the theory. So after conducting the experiment, he can go to the theory, he can understand that I have done this, and so this happened. So what is the theory of this hue, saturation and intensity mode? So so these are the this is the lab of computer science. So let me show another computer science lab. I'll quickly show you in 1 minute. A PHP lab. All the statements like the controlling statements, switch statement, and we have a let's just jump right into the simulation. We have this window. We can run a PHP code, debug it. So this is for the computer science people. We can debug the window step by step, the PHP code. So this is the process of simulation that they are being followed. So let me just go to the step by step. I will go to the electrical engineering lab, and I will cover all the labs here: biotechnology, civil engineering, physical sciences. So electrical engineering lab. So let's just go to for the electrical people. Let's just go to one of the lab. So why I am showing you all these labs? I am showing you all these labs to give you the flavor or the multidisciplinary simulations that are available in this system. Okay, so so that you can be can have the knowledge of all these all the theory that this website is. Let's go to the double coil experiment right here. Jump into the simulation, and let me quickly show that how innovative this system is. Now we have this double coil. This is a magnetic field. Let's just connect the coils to the oscilloscope. Let's just connect one of the coil to the so let's just phase 1. This wire should go to the phase 2, and other are the neutral. So what we are doing is we are just supplying frequency current, AC frequency current, AC current to the coils, to the dual coils, and checking the magnetic fields being developed in this loop. So let's just let me just turn on the simulator. Now you can see that I can also change the loop. I can also change the direction of the coils, position of the coil. These are the 90 degree. Okay, so first I have to check the connection, so that's why it was not running. Here are the two options that we have to check connection. The connections are right, so maybe now it will run. Okay, so now the system is running. you can see that these high-end oscilloscopes that are available only in the labs are available visually for the students, and we can see the phase change. I can change the phase of the coils. If I change the current, the magnetic field generated will be more. We can see the vector diagram. I have to just increase the frequency and current of the second coil. So the vector diagram as well as the magnetic field generated in the coil can be seen. So this is the simulation of the electrical machine lab. Now let me just go to the simulation of next lab, which is the mechanical lab for the mechanical engineering people. Okay, so this is the mechanical engineering lab. So let me go to the robotics lab. Now robotics lab, as you already know, I request you all to mute your mics, please. So this is the robotics lab. As you know that once we have also ordered a robot for a university, and it costed around 3 to 5 lakhs rupees. So that robot and this simulator has the same thing, and we can perform the experiments with this robot. And let's just go to the list of experiments. Do a simple forward kinematics problem of the robot. Go to the simulator, and I will show you the simulation. So this is the simulation. We can choose the workspace of the robot. This is a Puma 560 robot, typically used in industries, automobile industries, pharmacy industries, and for the industrial automation. This type of robot is used. We can control the joint rotation right here. We can control the waist joint of this robot. We can check the transformation matrix here. For the robotics people, they understand what is transformation matrix, and we can perform the experiments. Okay, so now let's go to the one more lab of the mechanics of machine lab, which is a mechanical engineering lab. So let's go to the experiment. Let's just go to the Grashof 4-bar mechanism and Grashof's 4-bar mechanism. Now this is the Grashof's law. Grashof's law states that sum of the longest and the shortest link must be less than the other two length of the link. So this is the simulation. We can stop the simulation. We can change the arm length, and if we change the arm length much more, then it gives an error that it gives that the Grashof's law does not allow this. So we have to change it, and we can do the simulation. Students can see visually what is happening with these linkages. They can design their linkages based on this system. So let's just jump to the another lab. Now let's just go to the civil engineering lab, and at the last we will cover the biotechnology lab. After civil engineering, we will cover physics sciences lab. Now for the physics, for the civil engineering, let's just go to for the civil people, strength of material labs, and a list of experiments, ISOT test, all the theory is given, quizzes is given, videos are given, references are given, videos of the NPTEL from the NPTEL are directly given. We can go to the simulator. We can perform simple ISOT test. We can click this handle. 2 joules of energy is generated, and once this system stops, we can move to the next. We can choose the specimen, cast iron or mild steel. Let's just choose the cast iron. This is the standard dimensions of the system, and it shows us how to place the specimen. And let's conduct first trial. 34 joules energy. After trial 1, we can conduct trial 2, and so on. You see, so these instruments are much more dangerous to operate also for the civil and mechanical people. They also know that much of the precautions are to be taken while performing ISO test. And in this simulation, the student can just have a feel of this test before performing the actual experiment. So he should have he always have a sense behind all the experiments that what is going to happen. So let's just go to the physical sciences lab for the applied science physics, and let's just choose the solid state physics virtual lab. And in this lab, let's just choose the characteristics of thermistor. Thermistor is a component basically which changes its resistance based upon the temperature, and it has a negative temperature coefficient. Let's just go to the simulator, and here it is saying that click here to enable the Adobe Flash Player. So you have to choose Adobe Flash Player, or you can choose another window which has already Adobe Flash Player installed. So this is my Mozilla browser. I have Adobe Flash Player installed in it, and I can go to the simulator right here. So this is the experiment of thermistor. So one thing I want to show first I have to make the connections. Let's just connect the temperature probe to the thermistor, and the milliamp meter to the thermistor and power supply. Okay, so all the connections are made, and we can also show the circuit diagram to get a hint what is happening here. So if the student want to get a hint before connecting, so we can show the circuit diagram to him. So this is the thermistor, thermistor 2, thermistor 3. Types of thermistors are here. Let's just power on the system. The temperature here is 25 degrees Celsius, and one thing I want to show here is this. If I increase the temperature, you see how the flame is burning right down right here. If I increase the temperature more, the flame is burning more. So students get a feel that how to get a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, from 25 to 100 degrees Celsius. We can boil water and insert thermistor in the container. So in this way, the students get a sense that the temperature will not exceed 100 degrees Celsius unless and until all the water is evaporated, because all the energy is being absorbed by the latent energy. So student get a feel that how to obtain 100 degrees temperature, how the flame is. So this is the temperature 65 degrees. No, what we have to do, this is the experiment being performed. We can show the circuit diagram, we can show the graph also. This is the beta coefficient of the thermistor, the graph of beta coefficient logarithmic curve. And what we can do right here, that before showing the result, let's just show the result. The alpha is around 0.0320. So based upon the theory, we are applying around 0.1 volts. We can fill the table right here. The temperature, let's say we have 30 degrees Celsius. I am filling anything here. Let's the current be 5 milliamps. Resistance is calculated automatically. The temperature here, let's say around 50 degrees Celsius, and the current again, let's say around 10 milliamps of current is flowing. So it automatically calculates the alpha coefficient, as you can see, of the thermistor who follow these properties. This is the beta, this is the alpha, 0.07. So these are the arbitrary values. That's why this alpha value is getting wrong. But if you fill the exact values that are being shown on the instrument, we will get an alpha of 0.0320. Now the procedure, you can see, if the students want to understand what is alpha, what is beta, he can always read the procedure. The beta is this, alpha is this, temperature coefficient is this. So this is one of the experiment of the physical science lab. So let me just go to the one of the experiment of the biotechnology. And biotechnology immunology virtual lab. Let's just remove the thymus and spleen from mice. And so this is saying that you have to log in. So login, one thing I want to tell you, that login doesn't mean that the content is not free. The content is free, but sometimes you have to log in to show a website. So you can log in easily from this Google platform, and it's saying that click here to enable the Flash Player. Flash Player is not installed, so you can copy the URL from this and copy it another browser which has FlashPlay installed, and you refresh it and you get this simulation. Now this is the animation. Let me just play this animation. Now if we click on any of the component, carbon dioxide cylinder, carbon dioxide chamber, this is the tray, surgical tray, dissection tray, and this is the, I don't know, biotechnology labs people may be knowing more. This is the beaker, and let's just continue with the animation. The mice is removed and it is placed in the carbon dioxide chamber. Now we are turning on the tap of the carbon dioxide supply, and within 30 seconds we can observe the mouse will be unconscious. Animal should be left in the container for several minutes. Now one thing to note here is that no animals are harmed while performing this simulation. So even though the graphics may seem to be intimidating, the mice is no mice or no living organism is being harmed. So for these basic experiments of removing the thymus and spleen, we can show this to the students that and if not that much great, they can even have an idea of where these things are situated, or what is the process of performing these experiments. So we are rubbing the mouse with the alcohol. Scalpel, we are cutting the stomach, sorry, not stomach but the skin, outer skin. Now the graphics of this window are quite visually appealing, and the next step is to remove the thymus. And this is how some of the experiments are performed. Some are the only animations showing the process of the experiment, and some are showing the actual we can perform the simulation based upon the our values. So let me just go to the home part of the virtual labs. So these are some of the new lab developments. What are the new labs development? That the labs that are being developed but are not passed to be uploaded on this website. So here you can go, we can explore the lab, we can develop a lab, we can explore the lab. In the explore the lab, we can go to the approved lab section or the lab under development section. So let's just go to the lab under development section, and let's just choose any of the lab to show you that how much. Let's just choose the zoology lab here. Let's just choose an experiment, go to the simulation, and these labs are right now being developed. But even though the simulation is not completely developed, we can get a preview of the simulation, that what they are doing, what they are developing. So using the simulations and with the simulations, using the procedure and theory, the students get a proper feel of the experiment. Of course, these experiments can't replace the physical labs in our university, but they can get some sense in this lockdown about the practical experiments performed. So again, I have to close these windows and go to the actual page, and this is the outreach portal. Outreach portal has the it shows what are the upcoming workshops. Right now there are not much upcoming workshops, and it shows the nodal centers. Participants attended the workshops, and there are around 865 nodal centers throughout in the India. So this was the session on virtual labs, and if you have any questions, I know that pharmacy is not, but not much in this website. But of course, we can apply for a nodal center, and after applying for a nodal center, we can request them to develop, or we can develop a pharmacy lab using simulations. The computer department can help, can understand the experiments of pharmacy, and can develop a lab for the pharmacy. But some of the experiments of the biotechnology and physical sciences may be helpful for the pharmacy also. So thank you very much. If you have any questions about the virtual labs, you can please ask. And there is nothing more in this, just the use of this website and using the simulations and helping out the students. So maybe I should end this session, and this session will be recorded, and it will be posted on the Microsoft Teams, and I will post it globally so that all the organization can view. And if someone has to go through this video again, go through these simulations again, he can do it at any time. Okay, then thank you very much for joining this session.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining this session.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Kunal.
Okay, sir. Thank you.